Hello, viewers, art heads, culture aficionados. It's your half-assed reporter James Kalm, the guy on the bike, and we're on the Upper East Side again. Special shout out to the PhD candidates in Bucharest, Wales, and Dallas. I'm gonna try to run in here. To Skarstedt Gallery and take a look at a David Salle show titled Tree of Life. Stay tuned. Installation, and I collected some ambient sound. It's always useful when I'm pasting these things together. Also, it's always good for me to kind of run through and take a look at the exhibition and sort of see if I can pick out some common themes. Well, of course, it's pretty obvious with this one. They're calling this Tree of Life, and all of the paintings kind of have this tree, quotation marks image, kind of dividing them. It's titled Tree of Life number 25. Jeez, I wonder how many he's got in here. It says 2020. So I was saying there are a couple of repeated themes. One of them is the tree. The other one is this bottom panel, which actually is one of the more interesting aspects of this series. It seems like kind of uses this to riff on various different things, different styles. And he also uses different kind of brush techniques, painting techniques. Okay, well, this is a big painting. It's Tree of Life number 17. It's 82 by 128. That's 7 by 12 approximately. Okay, so, and this one doesn't have the horizontal panel on the bottom. It's just kind of one homogeneous image. The other thing is that he's riffing and using a lot of these cartoons. Well, I saw that this show is happening, and I've made it a point to try to keep up with David Salle. I see him around the scenes occasionally. I saw him at the Jasper Johns retrospective at the Whitney maybe a couple of weeks ago. But he and people like Eric Fischel, Julian Schnabel, Richard Prince, Sherry Levine, a couple of other people I try to keep track on, because these are the kind of the hot young artists that were making the scene when I got to New York, and having a chance to watch their careers arc over 4 decades, something like that, has been interesting. Also, I saw in the press release they're talking about this, the new reopening for Skarstedt, and this is in the old Salander O'Reilly building, and I thought that they were here already, but I think maybe they have gone through and done some remodeling in that. Tree of Life number 14. Well, they're also saying that David kind of bumped up his color in some of this. Now, I don't know whether that's accurate, but I think one of the things that I like about his using these black and white cartoons is that when he does lay the other imagery over the top, it pops a lot more, because the background is all grays. This is 70 by 50. Seems bigger than that. Oh no, it's 98. This is 98 by 72. Well, I think one of the things I enjoy about David is that he's a real connoisseur of pop imagery. I think that he worked as a commercial artist, and that his initial series of works that he got some attention for were based on pornography that he was editing or illustrating for some sleazy magazines. I think David studied at Cal Arts, and he's actually mentioned quite extensively in the book Jack Goldstein and the Cal Arts Mafia. Okay, so we were talking about this lower panel and a place where you can kind of include various motifs. So you've got this kind of, and I like this part where the plant comes up on one side, and that kind of refers to, it looks to me like some of the edge notations from an illuminated manuscript, maybe. Also, these cartoons carry an incredible index of references. Let's go upstairs. This is Tree of Life number 13. Oil and acrylic on linen. It's 104 by 74. Well, I was talking about his using these cartoons, and well, if you're someone that has spent a lot of time looking at cartoons and other pop imagery, you kind of recognize these as the kind of cartoons they would put in something like the New Yorker magazine, or some of the other more, what can I say, high class, general public magazines, whereas people like Michael Kelly and Richard Prince have delved into some of the cartoon stuff that you would see in the sleazy men's magazines, or even the bathroom joke books. And also there's a certain kind of a time reference that these have, which is all, I would say probably maybe the mid-50s, late 50s into the 60s, which I guess has something, I don't know whether that's a reference to when David was growing up as a kid and the images that influenced him. Okay, and this part down here, well, can't help but look at that and think of a Picasso, or maybe he's even riffing on George Condo, who was a gallery mate for a while. This part over here, kind of the blotted out face thing, makes me think of a Schnabel. So I was saying maybe these cartoons represent something that was a part of his childhood, or maybe this is the market, the people who he wants to sell the paintings to. This is also interesting because this one is just basically like abstract expressionism. We went to a George Matu show at Periton downtown, and there was a lot of like large splashy and scribbly paintings. Okay, this is also interesting because the cartoon figures are not black and white, they're rendered in color. Also, these upper sections are almost rendered like drawings, in that he's painting on prime canvas. You can see his pencil lines, and it's leaving the primed canvas ground come through. Okay, so that's a big painting. Tree of Life number 19. Okay, so he's got his little parameters, his rules, but even within the rules of the tree and the cartoons, he's breaking it up. And in this one, his little panel on the lower section is, it's covered with some kind of towel. Kind of like that. I was thinking it was a rug when I came in and looked at it. I think somewhere inside David, he would like to be a abstract expressionist or an action painter, maybe, or splash things around more like Jean-Michel Basquiat does. Okay, and I think maybe another theme of the cartoons, it seems that a lot of these are kind of some kind of a confrontation between men and women. I'm not really reading the press release, I'm just kind of sussing this out. I think another thing is that one of the things that I find interesting about David Salle is that these would really be considered the salon paintings of our age. Okay. Let's look at the last gallery. We'll start over here. So this is number 11. Oil and acrylic on linen. It's 103 by 74. Okay. Well, I was just informed by the security person that there's another gallery of more paintings upstairs. Okay, so there's a little variation in each one of the trees, a little variation in the bottom part. Okay, I'm kind of looking at this and thinking there's like a reclining nude female there amongst the splashing. And okay, so the upper part is primed canvas, the bottom part is raw canvas. This is Tree of Life number 9. I don't know, for some reason I like this one. Okay, so we've got the angel Gabriel blowing the horn. Somebody's died. A lot of this kind of stuff, the whole kind of obsession with reliving and reviving the 50s and 60s. I guess it's because our current time is so disquieting, distorted, tragic. I like this part of this painting. This actually makes me think of some of David's early work where he was doing kind of drawings of nudes, laying them over the top of each other. In a certain way, that referred to Picabia. Okay, we got a lot of things we could think about with that. So I think the color things are working pretty well. So this is number 12. (2020-21). This is a big painting. This is 122 by 128 inches. Okay, well, like I was saying, David is a connoisseur of the images of pop culture. And the reason I keep mentioning that is that if you wanted to try to interpret some of these things, you'd have to be an initiate into the codes. All of these are kind of referring to social milieus. Who was reading the New Yorker magazine in 1959? Who weren't? Maybe you weren't even reading in 1959, maybe you're reading in 1969, but where did you get your old copies from? Something sitting in Grandma and Grandpa's study. So I like this part down here. And again, this is kind of nubby brown fabric that he's pasted in here. And we've got, again, our little colored drawings, characters. They're saying that these lower sections kind of represent the loam, the earth, and all this other stuff comes out of. And I guess maybe David is doing some kind of Old Testament reference here. Okay, let's go up to the next gallery. Okay, well, I've never been up here before. Maybe this is what they were talking about when they said that they were opening the gallery for a new premiere. It's tree number 18. Oil acrylic on linen, 72 by 98. Okay, so looks like David is getting a little more painterly on the illustrated parts of this. Also, strangely, none of the paintings in this gallery, oh, that one does. Most of them don't have the bottom panel. Okay, so we've got our little 1950s cheerleaders in their bobby socks. Something about this makes me think of a Max Beckmann painting. This one is it's not leaving much of the raw canvas open. This is Tree of Life 36. And one of the things I was thinking is that it's very hard to be a well-known and well-respected and in-touch painter in New York City and not be aware of the work of other artists. And so this little illustration over here that's almost been painted out kind of relates to a whole bunch of stuff that's going on downtown. The Lisa Yuskavich and the John Curran with the cheesecake pinup girls. Okay, so this is like a larger version of that. This is number 16. We got the same leering gentleman in the tuxedo, although this character over here is a little different. It's very articulately painted. It's 97 by 84. Okay, so that's fun. We got a little butterfly thrown in there. This is kind of playing with decorative motifs now. Tree of Life number 29. This is 70 by 50. Okay, now this figure definitely recalls David's work from the mid-80s. Kind of a transparent drawing of a nude. Actually, I'm looking at some of the gray cartoon paintings and thinking that David is actually getting into in some of these, getting into a pretty rich range of grays. Let's go across the hall. number 32. This is 44 by 30 inches. Okay, this is interesting because this almost comes off as a sketch, kind of a study or just an unfinished piece. And you would always have a little question looking at an image like this, is like, what is your caption? This is number 6. Well, I've talked about his use of the various modes, the cartoons, the references to art history, the different types of painting, and I'm wondering if these images that he's kind of collaging in there, like this green caterpillar, I'm wondering if he's borrowing that from something. Could be a children's book. I remember when my kids were little, somebody, the hungry caterpillar. Really having a new appreciation of Helen Frankenthaler recently as well. This is Tree of Life number 38. $70 by $50. Well, I'm looking at this, I'm noticing that there isn't the little panel at the bottom, that he's taking a little more time in some of these areas to actually fill in the things. And of course, we've got our little Philip Guston clock there. Yeah, I always have the hope that I see painters that are going to get into a more painterly mode, but I think that David always kind of restrains himself because he has a kind of an allegiance to pop art and the kind of untouched by human hands quality of someone like a Warhol. This is number 7. It's 95 by 62 inches. Okay, so this part down here is kind of interesting. This makes me think of, well, basilisks, except it's not upside down. So I was thinking, I was talking about some of the artists that I've been following. Eric Fischl, Julian Schnabel, David Salle, and all those people started out with Mary Boone. And, well, Mary Boone was convicted of tax evasion. I think she's served about 9 months or something like that, and she got out. I think she's got to do public service for a couple of months. But the ironic part is that we are now in what was the Solomon O'Reilly Gallery. And one of the partners in that was also convicted of, well, I don't think it was tax evasion, it might have been, but I think he was convicted of fraud and theft. I think he was selling the same paintings to 3 or 4 people and collecting the money and maybe not giving the full amount to the people he was selling the paintings for. This is number 20. Okay, so back to our theme, we've got the, it's like the 1950s businessman who's leaning on the bar. His companion holding her purse back when ladies used to wear hats. And on this side we've got the guy in his pajamas. Gosh, a lot of these have got this little caterpillar up there. I wonder if that's some kind of a Freudian thing. Could be. And then it's just the splashes down here. This is 103 by 98. Okay, we're gonna go down the hallway. Well, this is nice. These are some smaller pieces, and well, I was talking about David is someone that's doing contemporary salon painting, but I enjoy seeing an artist working in a different scale because you get a chance to see them when they're a little looser. They're having a little more fun. It's a little more personal, a little scruff here. Okay, so we got the old cow poke. We've got the lady that's peeking out somewhere, but you can't see her face because the tree is dividing it. Okay, well, we got their little body parts, torsos. This is number 31. This is 44 by 30 inches. This is number 35. I like the color shift on this. It's like Don Draper. This is Tree of Life number 33. It's 40 by 32. And we're going to finish off looking at this. This is number 39. I don't know how many of these we've watched or we've looked at today. Okay, so yeah, David recycled some of the images. We saw this angel with the horn. Gosh, this reminds me of an artist that's showing downtown. Kevin Marcus, I can't remember his name. That's the kind of Valley Girl portraits. Okay. Well, there's no caterpillar in here. There's only a little tree. James Kalm reporting on David Salle, Tree of Life here at Skarstedt Gallery on 79th Street. You can like this, share, link it up to all your social media sites, and you can subscribe. And you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. As long as you say, thank you, Kate. Whoa! Thank you. Stretch it out, baby. Thank you.